morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching The Inside Scoop. I'm your host, Steve Scanlon. On stage with me this week are my two guests, and they're on here regularly, so maybe I could call them a co-host. I don't know.
Well, one's returning.
What?
One's returning, as Joe says. We got Emily.
Hi.
And we got Joe.
Hello.
And are we missing somebody tonight? I can't remember.
No.
I'm missing the one that talks too much.
Oh.
Joe.
What do you mean? You're on stage already,
We're
Joe.
thinking about it. You can't say it out loud.
Okay, usually my co-host will be sitting in the seat that Emily's in, but due to her upset stomach, he's gonna take tonight's taping off. So I texted him earlier and said, hope you feel better. Anyways, you are watching The Inside Scoop, and we would like to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. And one thing that I could say while the three of us are on stage is we're fully vaccinated, and we hope you viewers are too. And I'm so excited that finally fireworks, July 3rd over at McCoy Stadium.
Are they?
Attleboro unfortunately canceled the 4th of July fireworks. But July 3rd, which is Saturday this year, McCoy Stadium is going to have fireworks. So it's going to be good to finally see fireworks. But I was told bad news earlier. I heard it might rain this weekend. And sometimes when it rains out, they cancel fireworks. Other times they don't. But I remember in the past, Attleboro did hold fireworks when it rained out. With that in mind, maybe Pawtucket would do the same thing and light off fireworks even if it does rain out. Okay, well, welcome back, Emily. Some of the viewers were wondering, what happened to you last week? I mean, last show, 2 weeks ago.
Last couple of shows.
Oh, last couple of shows.
Yeah, this is the first time I've turned back for a while.
I'm getting old. I am losing track of the episodes here.
Sorry.
Well, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now, this isn't school, where you take time off. Matter of fact, somebody asked me, I know it's summertime, but they asked me, how much time did you kids actually spend inside school this year because of the pandemic?
I mean, before April, I was cohort B, so we were going Tuesday to Friday. Only Tuesday and Friday, but then like April 20-something, we went fully back until June 16th.
So June 16th is when you went back full time.
April 27th, something like that, we went full time. June 16th
April.
was when we ended school.
Oh, June 16th was the last day of school.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was two of them, we were fully back. Other than that, we were just going 2 days.
It must have been strange when you did go to school. I mean, besides it, 2 days out of the week?
Yeah.
Going there, you must have had to sit like 3 to 6 feet away from the nearest classmate.
Yeah, it was.
That must have felt weird.
It kind of was, especially wearing a mask for 6 hours straight. That was definitely a different thing. So, yeah.
They don't feel bad. Joey wears a mask on a daily basis.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Joe, Halloween's over. I'm kidding.
No, actually, Halloween's coming up.
On a serious note, I mentioned earlier, folks, that we're fully vaccinated. I went to my doctor's appointment a couple days ago, and I was informed that there may be a booster shot, which means for those of you who got 2 shots, you'll be getting a 3rd shot. Those of you who end up getting the Johnson & Johnson shot, which was the 1-shot deal, if you get a booster shot, you'll be getting a 2nd shot. Now, I don't know too much about that. I heard possibly getting a booster shot, but
I've heard that too.
if we need it, we need it. I mean, on a serious note, I think all of us know, even the viewers know of someone, definitely know of someone who got their coronavirus, but some of you know someone who passed away from it, and I know of a couple people who passed away from it, and we know of a wrestler who passed away from it. Kamala passed away from it. And so I just can't wait for this coronavirus to be wiped out and gone completely. Okay, well, let's get to what we call the Kidman Report, and that's the wrestling news. Or you want to do the deaths first?
Well, I've only got one down here.
One death?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Less people passing away, the better.
It's one of the stars of WKRP in Cincinnati, Frank Bonner. He played Herb Tarlick.
Now, was that a show about a radio station?
Yes.
Okay. Now, that ran in the 1980s, I believe.
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s, yeah.
Oh, okay. And I've seen the reruns in the 80s. That's why I know a little bit of it.
Well, Lonnie Anderson was a cast member of that show.
Who?
Lonnie Anderson.
Don't know.
She used to be married to Burt Reynolds.
Who's Burt Reynolds?
Oh, Burt Reynolds' ex-wife.
Yep.
Used to be
She
on
was
that
one of the
show.
cast members of that show.
Oh, okay. All right, well, WWE held a pay-per-view since the last taping that we held, and it was the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. NXT also, I believe, had a pay-per-view, but you don't watch NXT, do you, Joe? No. If you don't mind, could you say the results of their WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view?
Well, before we read that, there was one match that was supposed to be part of that, but got shifted to a couple days before the pay-per-view, which was it was on SmackDown, the Universal title, which was held in the Hell in a Cell, Roman against Rey Mysterio, and Roman won. And now to the pay-per-view itself. WWE title match held in a cell. Lashley against Drew. Lashley won. So Drew can't fight him anymore.
Well, he's been getting a lot of title shots against Lashley.
Let's see, the Raw Women's title, Rhea Ripley against Charlotte. And in a DQ, Ripley DQ'd herself on purpose against Charlotte.
Oh, to retain the women's...
Yeah, because she intentionally got caught using part of the commentator's table to hit Charlotte with it.
Oh.
Alexa versus Shayna. Alexa won. SmackDown Women's title in the cell. Bianca Belair against Bayley. Bianca retained the title. You got Cesaro against Rollins. Rollins won. You got Kevin
Seth
Owens.
Rollins won? I mean, I apologize for interrupting, but I'm surprised Seth Rollins
Where did
won.
he go again?
Cesaro.
Oh, me too. I thought they would finally give Cesaro the push he needed.
Kevin Owens against his former buddy Sami Zayn. Zayn won.
I heard Kevin Owens is leaving the WWE.
Is he?
Well, he has a match, qualifying match Friday night against Zayn, and it's got a stipulation to it.
What's the stipulation?
Last man standing.
Oh. For a second there, I thought you were going to announce a loser leave town match.
I was
The
thinking.
qualifying match for the Money in the Bank. And the pre-show had Mandy Rose against Natalya. Natalya won.
All in all, how do you rate that pay-per-view? Did you enjoy it, Joe, or did you think it was average, or did you think that it could have been better?
I thought it was good.
Okay. Now, I want you guys' opinion on what I'm going to announce. It has to do with WWE writers. Recently, the WWE released a writer. I think it was a Raw writer. And the reason they released her is word got out that when they hired her, she didn't have any wrestling background as a knowledge of wrestling. And so they hired a writer that did have experience in comedy and other experience as a writer, but she had no wrestling background. And a lot of people been frustrated with the storylines recently with the WWE, I for one. And so a lot of people complained about a lot of, and now this is something I mentioned before about a lot of triple threat matches been happening on Raw. And a lot of people have been frustrated with the storylines that they've been turning on AEW. But I mean, AEW, that's on what, Wednesday nights? Mm-hmm. So AEW been having a higher rating on a Wednesday night than Monday Night Raw. And so WWE ended up releasing that writer once when a lot of people got upset on Facebook and YouTube complaining about them hiring people who don't have a wrestling knowledge. And she even did not know Bobby Lashley's name. She used to call him Bobby Ashley. And so I think it's not so much her fault. I think WWE could have done better as in the hiring process, as in hiring someone who has a background or at least know what's happening on the programming instead of getting someone who has no knowledge of the sport.
So you said they hired someone with no knowledge? Is that what?
No knowledge of wrestling.
Oh, okay.
And so, I mean, I think they should at least have her learn or watch the programming before she starts writing storylines for the wrestlers. I think they should have done it that way. It's not her fault. I mean, they hired her, and she had the background of a writer, but I think they should have had her, get trained as an, okay, these are the people you're working with. You got these wrestlers, and we need storylines for them, and this is what we got so far, and so forth. And so WWE heard a lot of negative feedback by the wrestling fans saying that they should have better storylines right now. And who knows, maybe WWE storylines will get better. I still watch Monday Night Raw. I could sit here and I could criticize not liking the storylines, but I still tune in Monday nights. But I, for one, think that they need to improve on the storylines.
Yeah.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is there another pay-per-view coming up for the WWE?
Yep.
Yeah, Money in the Bank.
Is there a date given for that?
July 18th.
July when?
18th.
18th. Okay. Any matches mentioned so far?
Yeah, so for the women's Money in the Bank, for the Raw side, it's Asuka, Naomi, Alexa, and Nikki Cross. And then for the SmackDown, the only one mentioned is Carmella. And for the men's Money in the Bank, for Raw, it's Ricochet, Morrison, Riddle, and then Drew McIntyre. And then for SmackDown, the only one is Big E so far.
Raw this past week had a battle royal. And the winner was to qualify for a Money in the Bank match, which ended up being Riddle. Now this is the weird thing. I don't know if you ever found out for me, Joe, the reason why Randy Orton was taken out of his Money in the Bank match. But Riddle ended up winning, and Riddle is in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Now what's even more weirder is, I don't know if Riddle got a concussion or anything in the past or recently, but he thought he was Randy Orton this past Monday night on Raw.
Did he?
As he was doing impersonations of Randy Orton. Matter of fact, I think he even did a RKO to someone in the ring.
Yeah, he did that weeks ago, too.
Did he?
To one of his opponents, yeah.
For those of you who don't know what an RKO move is Randy Orton's finisher. RKO is his initials, and he uses it for the name for his finisher,
Yeah.
which is similar to a diamond cutter. For those of you who know Diamond Dallas Page. Matter of fact, I think it'll be good to see him return to the ring someday, Diamond Dallas Page. Right
He's too
now, I
busy
think
with
he's
his
doing yoga with
Yeah.
He's still doing that?
former wrestlers.
There's 2 more matches.
Oh, there's more matches. Okay.
The Raw Women's title is Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte again. And then for the WWE title, it's Lashley versus Kofi.
Now, do we got a talk show taping before that pay-per-view or after it?
Before.
4.
Okay, so I'll save the predictions for that taping. Hopefully Bubba's stomach will be better and not upset, and he'll have his predictions. Unless, if he's not going to be here, maybe we could get his predictions before the show and we announce his predictions on the show. All right, anything else in regards to wrestling, Joe, or are you
Yeah, I
good?
got a couple of wrestling things. Former NFL star and / wrestler who used to be part of one of the groups of the Four Horsemen, Steve Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, he used to be a commentator too.
Right now he's suffering from ALS, aka Lou Gehrig's disease.
Oh, that stinks.
And Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff suffering from dementia.
I remember Paul Orndorff many years. I remember him feuding with not only Hulk Hogan, but I believe Hercules Hernandez he feuded with as well. And I think he feuded with the Junkyard Dog as well. Paul Orndorff, I think he was always a heel, a bad guy? Or was he ever a good guy, Joe?
I think he once was, yeah.
Okay.
Like right after the first WrestleMania, I think that's when that took place.
Yeah, no, I think he used to be a trainer at one time. I know I seen a skit on him. He was at a gym. He was training. Well, he was a trainer for a few people at a gym, a weightlifting gym. He was a real, I think I can say this word, jerk. He was a real jerk to those people he was a trainer to. But that might have been just a storyline. But I remember too, he didn't like Mr. T at all. Now, Joey could remember Mr. T being in wrestling, was it WrestleMania 1, Joe?
Yeah, he was in WrestleMania, and he was also in WrestleMania 2 as well.
1 and 2. Mr. T from the A-Team. Matter of fact, I saw him in the commercials recently. Mr. T.
Did you?
Yes. I would have loved to see him wrestle full time. That would have been awesome. I know he was in the tag team match in WrestleMania 1, I believe, right?
Yeah,
Him and Hulk Hogan teamed up.
Yeah, T and Hogan with Snooker in their corner.
What year did WrestleMania 1 come out in?
85, I think it was.
And they faced Roddy Piper and was it
Orndorff.
Orndorff
with RKO's father in their corner. Had a special guest ring enforcer outside the ring, the late Muhammad Ali.
Really?
Pat Patterson was the ref for the match.
Many people say he was the greatest boxer of all time. Now, WrestleMania 2, what match did Mr. T
He was in a boxing match with Piper.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And there was another time I saw Mr. T on wrestling. I'm not too familiar with the feud he was in, but he made an appearance on World Class Championship Wrestling.
Was he involved with WCW also?
Was he in WCW as well?
I thought.
I'm not sure. But I was a teenager back in the 1980s, and I feel old by saying that, ESPN used to have World Class Championship Wrestling on Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. And so they would show a lot of the reruns. And so I saw Mr. T make a run-in during one of the matches, and I'm not sure if he ever wrestled for them, but he made an interference in one of the matches. And I'm like, wow, cool, he's on World Class Championship Wrestling now. But that was the only time I seen him on there, though. So I'm not sure if he ever wrestled for them. All right, it's July.
Almost.
And I'm thinking of July 4th. Well, tomorrow's July. By the time this airs, this is what I was thinking of, folks. When this episode airs, it's going to be the first weekend in July, so that's why I mentioned July. This taping is June 30th. It's the 30th,
Yes.
right? Okay, I want to make sure I get my dates correct.
You are correct.
I haven't been in school for a long time, so don't mind me. It was as if I had a coronavirus schedule for the last, I don't know. I'm not going to say what year I graduated. It's been a long time. I think Jesus was a student when I graduated. Okay, well, we got the fireworks this weekend. For those of you who's going to be lighting them off, be safe. Every year, there's a lot of people who end up burning themselves, either lighting them or let them end up burning when they end up getting hit by firecrackers and other fireworks. I'm hoping it does not rain this Saturday, the 3rd of July, because I would like to see the fireworks over at McCoy Stadium. I'm not sure if I'm going to be at the stadium or nearby, but I can't remember the last time I sat in one of them seats at McCoy Stadium. It was, I believe, a wrestling show put on by Big Time Wrestling. Was it 2 years ago, Joe, or was it 3 years ago?
I think it was 2.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Matter of fact, somebody asked me if Big Time Wrestling was going to come back to McCoy Stadium this summer, and I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen commercials for it or anything, so maybe, maybe not. I know they're thinking about turning it into a soccer stadium. That's right up your alley, Emily, because you like soccer. Matter of fact, I'm still waiting for my thank you.
I said thank you.
Oh. Okay, for those of you who are wondering why I asked her for my thank you, is because I gave her 2 soccer balls this weekend after I did some yard sales, and I attended some yard sales, and I figured she could kick the ball around in the backyard, because I know she has a lot of frustration coming to this talk show and having to put up with Joey. So I knew she would want to kick the ball around, release some stress.
Yes. I have to sit next to you. What do you expect?
It's not my fault.
Hey, I have a great idea. We'll have Joey as the goalie. And you kick the ball as hard as you can, Emily.
Yes. Why? That would be fun.
Excuse me. Okay, well, we're going to be in the 7th month already in this year.
I'm going to be starting the second half of the year.
Second half of the year, like you said, Joe.
Oh, my
I cannot
birthday would
believe
be
how
in 5
fast this year is
months.
going, and before you know it's going to be Halloween. Then it's going to be Thanksgiving. Food. Matter
Here
of
we
fact,
go.
we're supposed to have a cookout on Sunday, on the 4th of July, if it don't rain.
Snap out of it. No.
Barbecue.
Think about your dinner. Don't think about
No, I'll be eating dinner after tonight's talk
Oh,
show.
right.
pizza.
No.
He doesn't know what
Oh, well, maybe I'll have Chinese food tonight.
your cat.
No,
That's what I thought of.
I can't catch him. He's too fast for me.
Not when you're lying on your bed.
Yeah, you're in front of your fan.
Well, animals are smart. When they're cooled off in front of a fan or in front of AC, they don't want to move. I don't blame them. Because, I mean, I actually feel bad for them. I mean, we humans have skin and hair, but animals that gotta have fur, and I feel bad for them. During the summertime, being under all that fur, it must be really hot for them.
But then they're lucky because they have all that fur in the winter.
True. Good point. Unless I shave my cat, but would that be abuse though? If
Probably.
If you
pet owner was to shave his cat, would that be animal abuse?
if you would shave it right now, it would grow back in time for the winter, so no, it wouldn't. But if you would have shaved it in September, then yes, it would, because that's when it's getting cold.
Okay.
Some Emily knowledge. What are you doing over there, Joe?
I don't know. I think Joe's thinking. I see steam coming from his head.
He's all red.
Well, I got to blush about.
All right. Well, usually at this time of the show, Bubba will be announcing independent shows. But I don't know if I know there's one in July in Woonsocket.
31st.
Is it the last Saturday in July?
I think it's July 31st.
And they're supposed to bring in Gangrel as their top wrestler. I remember watching him in WWE. He was part of the Brood. I think it was the leader of the Brood.
Speaking of the Brood, one of his Brood brothers returned Friday night.
Who?
Edge.
Did he?
Yeah, he attacked Roman Reigns.
Oh.
So we're going to see him against Roman Reigns at perhaps maybe at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Talking about Roman Reigns, there's word going around that John Cena will be facing him at SummerSlam.
Joe must be happy. Your idol.
I mean, I thought you liked John Cena too, Emmy.
I was 8.
I'm in my 40s. I like John Cena.
I was 8. I had a insane page.
I think he's already in theaters, or he's going to be in theaters soon. For
what?
Fast 9.
Oh, that movie came out already, and they did pretty good this
That came
past
out already,
weekend,
John.
as in how much they grossed.
That was pretty good.
All right, well, we thank you viewers for watching us, and boy, the time has gone by so quickly. We thank the director for directing us, thank WACS for having us, and until next time, have yourselves a great 2 weeks, and be
Bye.
safe. See ya.